Good afternoon, YouTube. So this is the Milwaukee packout 15-inch structured tote. Just want to go through a video of why I chose this tote, what's inside it, and its purpose. So first we'll get into why the Milwaukee packout structured tote like this. Well, let's get into it. So in 2007, I became a professional mechanic, and I've been hauling around tools, whether it be inside a service truck, inside truck bed mounted toolboxes, or these tool tote bags. Any way you can imagine, I've hauled around tools. And the Milwaukee packout system and the structured tote bag are currently my absolute favorite way to move around tools. I know Milwaukee packout has been around for a long time. I'm late to the game. So up until just this past month, I've been hauling my tools around in these bags and in those husky totes back there. So I'm currently living in an apartment with my toolbox set up here and traveling back and forth to my girlfriend's house. I'm about to move up north in with her. She owns a farmhouse and some land up there. So been making some home improvements and light repairs around the house. And I obviously can't haul my giant toolbox up there or from room to room. And hauling these bags around in the back of the truck and from room to room is a total pain in the ass. So I have a simple solution. It's this bag here, this rolling toolbox, and the low profile Milwaukee packout stackable bins. So those three in combination have been the most efficient setup I've probably ever used for doing side job service calls or home improvements. All right, now let's get into the bag itself. So this is their Pro Pack structured 15-inch tote. The materials are absolutely fantastic. Really good finished quality leather, good riveting on the sides, all of the clasps, buckles, size adjustment, little knobs, whatever you call them. All of these buckles are metal. There is no plastic on this bag. This structured handle is extremely durable. There's some sort of hard plastic inside here to give it some structure. I've heard the fit and finish of a Vito bag is a little nicer than this, but for me doing simple home repairs around the house or side jobs, this is a better bag than I'll ever need. And I am absolutely in love with it so far. It's been fantastic. So, starting off with the side, actually before we get into it, another reason why I chose this over a Vito is because you can't go to a store and touch a Vito bag. You gotta buy them online, at least in my area. I can go to any Home Depot or any hardware store that's a Milwaukee Tools dealer and get my hands on this. I can touch it, feel it, look at the size of the pockets, I can look at the layout, and I can make my own determinations on if this is gonna work for me or not. I do not buy tools online. If I can't go to a local store or a tool truck doesn't come to me, I'm not buying it. It's as simple as that. That makes for ease of warranty, right? I'll get further into it when I talk about tools, but if I go buy a tool at a local store, I'm not buying that tool if I can't just hand them the broken one and they hand me a new one back. So there's reasons I buy tools where I buy them. I've been spoiled, right? I spent the whole career where the tool truck comes to you and you hand them a broken piece of shit and they hand you a new one back. Just because I'm not a mechanic anymore doesn't mean I'm gonna work my tool sales any different. So same concept applies. Sharpie, typical Milwaukee Sharpie, those are super useful. Standard stainless steel cleaning brush, pipe dope, and pocket screwdriver. Can never do a job without a pocket screwdriver. There's another empty pocket. These are tall, skinny pockets on the side. I just have them for general use. Again, this is a general purpose home repair handyman tool bag. So the pocket layout on this side is different than the pocket layout on the opposite side. So starting over here on the left, we have a pry bar. So strike top, steel pry bar. Some of the tools in this bag you will see have been repurposed from my large toolbox. You can see them in my toolbox tour. And then other tools have been purchased new specifically for this bag. I would have loved to purchase everything brand new just for this bag, but I simply cannot afford that. So again, you'll see a lot of tools that have been pulled out of my large toolbox and repurposed for this bag, such as this pry bar and these picks down here. So I have 4 picks, 2 orange handled snap-on picks and these 2 green handles. Green handles are non-marring for O-rings and seals, and the orange handles are steel handled traditional picks, you know, for scraping whatever you need. Off to the side there, in another small little pocket, is a mini vice grip. So Mac Tools brand needle nose vice grip, a mini set. Another pick that repurposed from the toolbox. I used the red and black handled one to match the Milwaukee color scheme. This tool has been purchased specifically for this bag. So this is their multi-bit socket set. There's 6 sockets on this 1-bit driver. They pull this handle, this shaft comes off, and you can insert this into a bit driver. So you can use it by hand or with your bit driver. This is the standard SAE set. I will be getting the metric version of this as well, taking the shaft off and just storing it in here. So I will have the standard set, and I'll put the metric shank with the sockets either in this one or this one next to it. The reason I went with that little specific kit is because of how small, lightweight, and portable it is. I have a complex where I like to buy sockets and carry a lot of them. So I can't just grab a few sockets, I have to carry toolboxes full of them. So this is going to help me limit how much I'm carrying, save on size, space, and weight by just using these. Anything you run into in the house or small handyman repairs, this little bit set's going to cover for the most part. Moving along, a Mac Tools brand mirror and light. Great for looking behind appliances, sinks, hard to reach places. Moving along in the small pockets in the back here, I have the Milwaukee precision handle screwdriver set. So let's peek back there. You'll see 2 of them in one pocket there, and then these other 2 large ones have their own designated pocket. I bought these small precision screwdriver set specifically for this bag. Because if you've seen my toolbox tour, you'll know that I have an entire drawer of screwdrivers, but I wanted a set designated for this bag, and screwdrivers are cheap enough where I was able to do that. Same thing with the demolition set, the Phillips and flathead. These 2 I bought specifically for this bag, and they fit nice and neat in that large pocket right there without any issues whatsoever. So these are very, very useful for all-purpose or general purpose use. Same thing right here next to it is like a 5-in-1 scraper. So this can be used on just about any single job you run into across the house. I use these for doing trim kits on shower head or shower handle trim kits on upstairs and downstairs bathrooms. Just scraping the old caulking off. And it fits very conveniently in here in between the other pockets. So it just fits nice and snug. Oops, excuse me, down in here. Next to that, we have my favorite light of all time. Again, I became a mechanic in 2007. I've been turning a wrench either professionally or on the side ever since. And I've never in my life encountered another light that I like better than this one. Not from any brand, not from any manufacturer. There's been millions of remakes, copies, rebrands of this light. I don't know why, I just much prefer this light over any other light I've ever owned. So I took this out of my toolbox, and I've repurposed it, and its new permanent home is right there. It will stay in this bag and go on every job with me from here on out. That's one side of this bag. You can see there's a little bit of room on this side yet. In the back behind all these, you have some neoprene type material to hold smaller items like bits or whatever your imagination holds. Mine are not being utilized. Moving over to the side of the bag here, we have two pockets that I believe are designed for the M12 batteries. I have the compact 16-foot tape measure and the small compact fastback box cutter. So the common theme you're going to see for this tool bag is that I specifically wanted the smallest, most compact version of the tools that I could find because I want to be lightweight and portable. Now, I just recently, and I guess this is an ever-changing setup, I had some other items in here that I just took out yesterday and placed them in here. So I've removed some materials and supplies, things like plumber's putty, clear silicone, Teflon tape, and put them in the tray, that big rolling toolbox. And now I'm going to be repurposing that space in the middle here for the Milwaukee M12 subcompact bit driver and drill set. And why that set specifically? Well, I'm going to be going with that set specifically because it is the smallest, most compact bit driver or drill that Milwaukee has ever made. And they're going to fit perfectly in there. Right now you can get the kit with a little bit set for $170 at Home Depot. So I'm going to be getting that specifically for this bag. In the middle here, a non-marring snap-on hammer, dead blow. Why this hammer? So this is for things like finished carpentry, trim paneling, tiling, you know, anything around the house that you need to bang on with a hammer, but you don't want to cause damage to any of the surface areas too. Inside here we have the Milwaukee Tools confined spaces copper pipe cutters. So I bought these specifically to do tub faucets in the upstairs and downstairs bathroom. There's a lot of mixed reviews on these tools. However, I bought them anyway because Nice Tools here in my local area has 100% no questions asked warranty. If the manufacturer of the tool offers a warranty, they honor it right there in person in store. And even though there's a ton of mixed reviews on these, if I only need them once or twice around the house, I'm sure they're going to hold up. But in the event that they don't, I take this broken piece of shit, I hand it on the counter, tell him it's broken, show my receipt, and he goes and he grabs me a brand new one and I walk out a happy camper. You can't beat that. That's why I buy all of my tools from either that store or if I can't find them there, from somewhere else that does the same thing. The Milwaukee faucet swap out wrench. So I did a lot of research on plumbing and plumbing jobs. I just had to do under sink plumbing from ground up as well as the kitchen sink and faucet. So did a lot of research. I've never done a single plumbing job in my life ever. However, I am a mechanic by trade and a handyman. So I'm not paying anyone to do anything if I don't have to. In my research, I found the Rigid Industries faucet wrench. However, then I stumbled upon the Milwaukee Tools version, which is a far more improved design. It is a multi-use tool. It can be used for faucets, sinks, toilets, catch basins, you name it. So highly, highly recommend this tool if you're going to be doing any sort of sink work. It will save you time, energy, and effort. I am a firm believer in there's a right tool for every job, and it's all about efficiency. So again, cut the copper pipe. This is the reamer and cleaner, I guess, from Rigid. You stick this in the inside. You ream out the inner hole of burrs and debris, so it's not cutting any seals. And then this slips on over the outer edge and it does the same thing, and then you sand it out. So that's what I have inside this bag currently. Again, so now that I have this stuff over here like that, this empty space will be utilized for that new subcompact kit. On this side, we have an Empire level. Empire is great. You can get them at any hardware store. Super cheap. It's not better than worse than any other level. It's just what's in here. This pocket right here is hardline plastic. It's different than the rest of the canvas lining pockets for things like saws, hole saws, hacksaw, drywall saw, whatever you need to put in there, so it's not cutting up the canvas pocket. I use it for files, but it's just the same. Over here, the Icon slip joint needle nose, 9-inch. Bought these specifically for this bag. Moving along, the snap-on side cutters, quite old, repurposed from the toolbox. Most of these others, so the only thing on this side that was, actually I can't say that, there are 4 pieces on this side purchased for the toolbox. These 2 small Knipex and these 2 Icon pieces. So Knipex cutters, you can cut airlines, cables, tubing, anything you can fit in here, it will cut, I promise. Same thing with this one, for metals, countertops, plastic, you name it. If you can fit it in the jaws, these will cut it, I promise you. Again, Knipex, where does it say? Pockets are nice and deep, tools will get lost in them. Moving along, so these I got for this box, or this bag, the Knipex mini cobras. You can see right here I have the medium size and large size cobras. So Knipex medium size cobra pliers, and then the large cobra pliers. I figured I used the large and medium size so much as an automotive mechanic that they would be a little bit too big except for some circumstances in the house, and I would much more prefer these smaller ones and get more use out of these. So I purchased this smaller one specifically for this bag and home use. In the front, Knipex pliers wrench. A lot of copies out there, but in my opinion, nobody makes better hand tools or pliers than Knipex, and that's why you'll see this full of those. Mac Tools branded needle nose vice grips that fit right in between the pockets there perfectly. More Knipex pliers wrench, the mini size. Again, I figured I would use this inside a lot more than the big ones, and I have. So far I've used these minis for a dishwasher and a kitchen faucet. So these get their use, been fantastic so far. Only had the privilege of using on those 2 jobs, but have the bigger size if I need them. And then another just vice grips brand, regular vice grips, fit again in between the pockets there. And Icon slip joint pliers in there. So I have the Icon slip joint and needle nose pliers in here for just general purpose all around use. And I figure those are a good quality plier that I can purchase locally and get a no BS warranty if anything were to happen to them. And I leave the snap-on ones in the box. So that's the gist of it. So far I much prefer carrying the tools on this open style tote. I can see everything. I know if I'm missing something, it's far more easily organized. It's visually more aesthetically pleasing. In my opinion, it looks more professional. It's far more efficient than digging through these god-awful bags, trying to find what you want. At the end of the day, you clean everything up, you throw it in the bag, and you hope that you have what you came with. With this, it's easier to get a visual representation of, okay, I'm missing something, right? if you keep the same pocket layout, eventually you're gonna know just by a glance if you're missing something, right? So if I go to clean up at the end of the day and I'm like, wait a minute, I know I have a problem and I need to go look for something. That's not really the case in these bags. Also getting them in and out of the house, right? So just transportation purposes, I'm living in an apartment and I go up north to my girlfriend's house until I move in. So right now, just transporting this in and around is going to be much easier when I can just take my low profile pack outs, stick them on there, and then stick this bag on the pack outs, lift up the handle, and roll it up the stairs and around we go. I've liked this bag and enjoyed using this bag so much that now I'm going to convert my electrical work toolbox to the 15-inch structured, fully enclosed pack out tote. So they make another 15-inch Pro Pack structured tote, but it's fully enclosed and it zips up, big plastic handle on the top. And that's the one I'm going to use for my designated electrical work toolbox. This one's for general purpose handyman and light plumbing duty. And then that Craftsman one up there is just electrical stuff. So once everything's converted into both pack out bags, it'll all go on there and it's a one-stop shop. Thanks for watching.